non-binary pals. Welcome to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve and your Political Week in Review, broadcasting live on the Really American Media platform. It's been another wild boar of a week. Oink, oink. The political dumpster's ablaze, but let's put out this shit show and reload your brain with the facts you actually need. All right, you little bastards. It's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Come on, you feline. Start scratching the post. Holy moly. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're just in time for a live version of the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Welcome to the program. Here we are on Really American Media, streaming live on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I don't think there's any other version besides live for us.
Sure there is. We post the show after we do it live on other platforms. So,
that's fair. That's fair. I know some podcasts claim they're live, but they're really not. They record it, clean it all up, and then they play it live.
Yeah.
Not us. And the reason we are live, by the way, is to get you guys all involved. You are the vocal minority after all, so comment section is open. And as we chat throughout today's fine broadcast, you can chime in with your 2 cents.
Yeah.
Vocal, as we say.
We hope you'll do it. It has, we always say, oh, yeah, it's been another wild, boar of a week, but, it really has. What a shit show.
That's one way to describe it, too, I suppose, yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. I was worried, Steve. I had other things on my mind because people are starting to get into the chat room. We had some changes earlier, and I was like, oh, is this all set up right? So, yeah, I think
it good. Is. I do think you need to turn your mic up a notch, though. Not 10 notches, just a notch.
All right. It's up.
There you go. Okay. All right. Doing well. Studio looks good. Nick's done some remodeling, HGTV style over there. You're looking fancy.
Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah. Just a few changes. I had a little extra, those tiles back there. I did some work in the house where I put that on a wall, and I had some extra. I was like, yeah, I should put that out there. So,
yeah, Nick does a lot of babysitting, so we needed to soundproof some rooms. Don't need the authorities knocking on the door. Know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know what you mean. I don't.
Yeah. Have you seen that Michael Jackson documentary?
Yes, I have, dude. And I don't know why you're relating me to Michael Jackson.
You're a fan. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know that I am. There's a lot of misinformation coming out early on the podcast.
Well, hold on. Nick and I used to work at a music station, and you programmed my Totally 80s hour that I hosted, but you constantly put fucking Michael Jackson in there. Even though I told you, beat it. Like, literally, stop it with the beat it.
Well, there were people. I got to listen to the audience. It's not about what you want to hear. It's about what they want to hear, right?
I see. All right. Well, all right. Listen, lots of news going on. My list is growing longer by the moment.
Like a boner?
Yes. It's a boner list.
All right. Well, should we get into it then?
If you're okay. You seem distracted.
I have an echo going on here, and I don't know why.
I don't hear it.
Well, lucky you.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Stand by for news. It's Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey got a lot of comments in the podcast in the chat last week. There were people who were like, I love Paul Harvey.
Yeah, it's good to know we still got fans.
Yeah.
Good old radio. Not quite dead yet. About to die, but not dead yet.
Oh, someone did make a comment last week, dude, that kind of irritated me. Can I tell you about it?
Yeah.
They said, oh, you know what? The whole radio thing was dead a long time ago. You two schmucks should stop using your radio voices and move on.
I don't know where to start with that. First of all, this is my voice, for better or for worse. And people tell me on a freaking daily basis, like, whoa, you should be on the radio.
Yeah.
So it's still relatable. And radio has not been dead for a long time, but it is dying. Okay. And I will be the first to agree to that. I recently was having a conversation with actually some Trump supporters, and one of them asked me if, hey, what's up with the radio? Is radio dying? And I said, if you're over the age of 45, radio is still part of your habit and you're still listening, but the audience is not growing anymore. So radio in the next 10 give-a-taker years, it's going to be dead. And his wife, who was in her 50s, started arguing with me. Like, I still listen to the radio. Like, the radio's on all the time. I'm like, I just said, if you're over the age of 45,
right,
you're still listening. So, yes.
Yeah. My niece is 21. I don't think she's listening to a lot of radio, When's the last time you listened to the radio?
Well, I'm over it now, and so I don't.
Oh, look at this, Steve. I like your voices. Well, thank you very much. I mean, we can't change them, so there you go.
No, I mean, people have accused me of like doing some affect or something, but no, indeed not.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Let's pop into it. I thought as I started doing prep for the show today, I thought, oh, there's going to be a lot of stuff I can pull outside of the ICE and immigration arena. And then I was smacked in the face with a lie. I mean, that's all that's going on right now. As far as, I mean, that's the big stuff going on right now. So
It's dominating the news, and I've done a lot of it this week on Really American, and today I did a little of it. But I don't know if that's going to upset you or not, but the first story that I feel the need to talk about is absolutely ICE related. And I don't know, it's just kind of making the rounds today, and I find it absolutely fucking outrageous.
yeah, no, I'm not upset by it at all. I got a ton of ICE news today. So pop into it, dude. Let's do it.
Okay. Let me find I load video. Okay, let me just set it up with this. All right. So last week when Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed in Minneapolis, as we're all well aware, this video right here started circulating. A lot of people have seen it, and if you have, I just want to refresh everyone's memory because this cues up what I need to talk about. So
Okay.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
I don't care. We understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor.
yeah. So that was immediately after the shooting, and ICE denied that guy who was identifying as a physician, as a doctor. And by the way, doctors take a thing called the Hippocratic Oath. Like, they are morally, professionally required in a situation like that to assist, to help. And Minnesota has a Good Samaritan law where any of us would be legally required to do whatever you could. Try to stop the bleeding, anything. Just try to render aid. And all officers, law enforcement, are supposed to be trained that if you use lethal force, that as soon as the suspect or whatever is rendered immobile, you immediately switch to rendering first aid. And as we saw in that video, they denied a doctor. They said they're their own medics, but they didn't. It took forever for someone to show up. The people that did the shooting were directly there, all hauled ass out of there.
Yeah.
So, new today, according to the New York Times reporting, and they're getting this from reviewing police and fire department documentation on the events that day. Police and fire records released on January 15th show that Good was still alive immediately following the shooting. She still had a pulse. Well, that doctor right there was trying to go render aid. She was still alive in that car, bleeding, suffering, multiple gunshot wounds, but had a pulse.
It's unbelievable, dude. I mean, we saw that video initially where that guy was like, let me help her. And I think, and I don't even know why, a lot of us assumed that she was dead. I mean, it was pretty much point blank range, 3 shots fired. And that makes this even worse, dude. I mean, that she was sitting there suffering, and, who knows if she would have made it. But the fact that somebody could have been next to her as she left this earth for even a little comfort is shitty.
Yeah, even if there was a 1 in a million chance of keeping her alive, it does not matter. That's the whole point of going and rendering aid. Like, you don't know. And with gunshots, as we've all seen in real life and TV shows, movies, like, if it misses certain vital organs or whatever, people can survive multiple gunshot wounds. None of the ICE agents were doctors. None of them are qualified to make that assessment.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was live. The report noting that Good was, quote, found in her vehicle with 2 gunshot wounds to her chest and another in her forearm. That's 3. The responders found Miss Good unresponsive inside her Honda SUV on January 7th, and after they removed her from the vehicle, she was not breathing and had an irregular pulse, according to one of the reports. She also had a possible 4th gunshot wound on the left side of her head. By the time the workers took her out of the vehicle, she then had no pulse. They performed CPR on her as she was rushed to the hospital. Good, quote, was still alive when ICE agents were blocking a physician from tending to her.
Wow, dude, that is pure bullshit. I mean, first of all, dude, I thought she was shot in the face, and I'm not trying to be crass, and but I thought that she was shot in the face. These are new reports
Well,
that I'm
kind of.
hearing anyway.
Let me read again. Found 2 gunshot wounds to her chest, another to the forearm, and then the fourth appeared to be to the side of her head.
Okay.
So first of all, we've only been hearing about 3 gunshots. Like, I don't know how we've all missed that in these videos, but
Well, and I only heard 3 gunshots. That's odd. I mean, unless one went through her
just
face.
up. I think it's easy for them to blend together,
Yeah.
That kind of gun is not automatic, but it's as fast as you can pull the trigger. So, I mean, we've all obviously reviewed this a million times, but evidence shows there were 4 shots. And only the first shot, by the way, was from, this guy, Jonathan Ross, standing in front of the vehicle where he put himself and should not have been. The other shots were on the side of the car where he was in absolutely no harm's way. Even if you want to theoretically say he wasn't the first shot, like after that he wasn't, and shots 2, 3, and 4 obviously did a ton of extra damage. She still had a fucking pulse while she was laying there in that car while people were trying to render aid. And like you said, like maybe she could have been saved, but at worst case, at least somebody would have been there with her as she was dying.
Maybe her wife, for crying out loud, they wouldn't let her wife approach. Like, I hope when I die that, someone I care about is next to me, like that's, wow, dude, that's crappy. I mean, it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, and this guy, basically the ICE guy failed the Good Samaritan laws. Yeah, I mean, that's what we just mentioned, but they also failed their training. Like, they are supposed to immediately go render first aid while the ambulance is getting there. And obviously, if somebody stands up and says, I'm a doctor, let me come help, I mean, you don't ever see that in real life in the movies. I'm a doctor. Let me, no, we're fine.
Completely. Yeah. When you're on a plane and someone's like, is there a doctor? Can you imagine if the pilot was like, hold your horses. Like, there's an ambulance on the ground. We'll land soon.
Exactly. And I'm not laughing at this situation. I'm laughing at the absurdity of, is there a doctor in the house? Yes, there is. Yeah, we're good. Like, they denied her access to a fucking doctor that was there, and we now know she was still alive. It is so fucking outrageous, and I don't see how this is not yet another step in homicide and murder. Like, it's negligent homicide, if nothing else. I mean, if she was alive and you didn't render aid, like, it has to be some form of homicide.
Yeah. We all saw the video. I just saw that comment coming up on the chat, and you're right. We saw the video, and what a world we live in where people are trying to tell us something happened that, we saw it, dude. We know that's not what happened. But when you watch this ass bag, and I'm not saying the ICE agent's name because I don't think he deserves credit, bad or good, for this.
I think he deserves public shaming. I think it's why we say his name, Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, I can't utter it. It kills me to say it. But here's the thing, dude. When we see him recording on his cell phone, right? He's walking around the car. He gets the license plate. Then he goes over to the wife. At a point in time, he switches hands, right? He goes from his right hand to his left hand, and then he puts his hand on his gun. He knows what he's going to do before all this goes down.
Yeah.
When he shot her the first time from the front of the car, you're 100% right. If you were afraid, that would have been the time to stop. That would have been the time to stop. There's no excuse whatsoever. I'm not making an excuse for the first shot, but there's no excuse on the side of the car. You know who Dean is? Dean and Parker. I mean, they're on the internet. I wish I knew Dean's last name.
Sound like a morning show. Dean and Parker.
Dean,
the young kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who Parker is, but yeah, Dean.
Parker's his best friend. But I thought this was a really interesting phone call because he took this on his show, and most of the time his shows are all about just like, if you're a Trump supporter, tell me why, Yeah. Okay, so this guy came on his show, and then they had this conversation and watched video of the whole Renee Good shooting, and something fascinating happened after they watched it together.
So you're basically saying that the other angles prove that he was hit.
It all kind of coincides. Like, it all just kind of shows it all. Yeah, right there. Literally, you just showed it. Thank you.
Yeah, so your argument is that that impact sound and him saying, whoa, is him being hit by the car?
Yeah, that was definitely him getting hit by the car. And then they literally
Did I
said
just ask you a couple
he had to go to
questions?
the hospital afterwards. Yeah, what's up?
How do you know that the impact sound was his body being hit by the vehicle?
So watch all the other angles, and you'll realize that he got hit.
I don't believe so.
But when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent
Bam,
not
right
being run
there.
over. In fact, his feet are positioned away from the SUV.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
I mean, he brushes off the side.
Wait, slow that down. Wait, slow that down.
I'm
Hey, you
sorry,
might be
sorry.
right. What the fuck? No, but that was smart as fuck because you synchronized at the same
The
time,
agent is not being
and you
run
could
over.
see that he moved out of the way just in time.
His feet
Yes.
So he didn't get hit. He just pre-fired for no reason. Really? What the fuck?
See, seeing these people that are so addicted to just believing everything the Trump administration says, when you finally get them in a moment of sanity and prove something to them like this, I think it must be so shocking to their system. In that moment, we've seen this several times where people are like, "Holy fuck! I've been being lied to and manipulated this whole time."
Yeah. I mean, if you can get them to slow down and actually look at some evidence, and if their brain's willing to take it in. And then, PJ here is bringing up a good point. If he had internal bleeding, a bruise is considered internal bleeding, not really believing what they're saying. So that's the other thing that just came out in the last 2 days or whatever, that they're claiming from unverified sources, by the way, that this man was in the hospital with internal bleeding, quote unquote. Yeah. Now, PJ's right. A bruise does meet the technical definition of internal bleeding. And that would be the worst thing that could have happened to that guy. He did not get hit. He may have sort of brushed off the side as he was going around, and she was, but he walked away. He was never hospitalized. And, it came out just today. New leaked emails have revealed a huge internal discussion in the CBS newsroom over whether or not the network should push the anonymously sourced claims about the injuries to that officer claiming this internal bleeding stuff. Multiple people in the CBS newsroom all said, hey, suffering internal bleeding of the torso, a claim that was attributed to 2 U.S. officials who were anonymous. And they were all saying, we don't have any actual proof. And this sort of seems like we're just carrying water for the Trump administration. But Barry Weiss, who was taking over CBS, said that according to these emails, she was very excited about the story. So they did run with it. And then subsequently, some other news outlets ran with it. But they all said that they all conceded that details remained unclear about where that really came from. Bullshit, internal bleeding.
When something is unclear, you either start the story off of that or you don't run the fucking story, dude. CBS, Nikki Glaser made a great joke, by the way, at the Golden Globes that CBS is now promoting bullshit news.
Yes, and if you want to CBS, go
to CBS. Yeah, they're basically becoming an extension of Fox News, and what a joke, dude, that they would run with this story. Here's the thing: remember when Trump's ear got blown off?
Yeah, sure, right.
Yeah, I saw that on the news. I mean, and then he wore a tampon on his ear for a couple of days, and then it magically grew back. Maybe they put him in the med bed. I don't know.
Right. Well, we've discussed that farce before. I don't know what that was, whether it was a complete setup or just like this, nowhere near what, a level of injury that they're claiming to have. So.
Listen, Trump lied right out of the gate. As soon as he went to the hospital and he was in rough shape, he didn't go to the hospital. We know that. We know that he drove off and was doing fine. Internal bleeding, yeah, maybe he got a bruise from something, but I don't even think he was hit hard enough to get a bruise.
He wasn't apparently hit hard enough to even leave any permanent damage. As we've discussed, a high velocity bullet, even grazing your ear would leave some sort of, hamburger type wound, some sort of burn, like something, obviously, not just nothing. So, yeah, I mean, this whole Renee Good story is just beyond outrageous. And so, yeah, to hear today that according to these reports from the cops and from the fire department, she still had a goddamn pulse when they denied her medical treatment. So it's a homicide. And then also new today, again, all of this shit is just getting buried in the news cycle. But we've got another ICE homicide in Texas.
Tell us what happened.
Have you heard about it? Because I bet the answer is no.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
It is full. You're right. There's too much stuff going on. So get this. ICE detainee's death will likely be ruled a homicide, according to the medical examiner report. An employee at the El Paso County office of the medical examiner told Lunas Campos's daughter this week, subject to results of a toxicology report, the office is likely to classify the death. A man died while being detained or arrested in an ICE facility in Texas. Okay,
right.
His death is likely to be classified as a homicide, according to a recording of the conversation. In the recording, the employee said that a doctor there is listing the preliminary cause of death as asphyxia due to neck and chest compressions, which means Lunas Campos, the man who died, did not get enough oxygen because of pressure on his neck and chest. Pending the results of a toxicology report, the staffer said on the recording, our doctor believes we are going to be listing the manner of death as homicide. Now, DHS has tried to slam this guy as some sort of sexual predator, worst of the worst, which even if he is, let the courts figure that out, doesn't give you permission to kill the guy because another person in that same facility under arrest there testified, gave, witness testimony that they choked the man out.
Yes.
So the pressure on his chest and throat was coming from ICE officers in the center choking the guy, and he died. And they're going to rule it a homicide.
Yeah, well, for lack of a better term, dude, they George Floyded him. I mean, it looked very reminiscent of that to me. I did see that video, by the way.
I mean, the George Floyd thing, that was not good. They were trying to detain him, and they had him pressed down, and then they stayed there way too long. This sounds like they were flat out beating the shit out of the guy, choking him out. Because choking someone out is not the same as putting your neck or your knee on the back of someone's neck.
Right.
I mean, they seem to have just flat out murdered the guy. It's going to be deemed a homicide. That's what homicide is. Why am I not reading and seeing this thing everywhere? And will there ever be any accountability for any of this?
I don't know the answer to that, which is sad. You would think, this is the administration who partially ran on Law and Order. So you would frickin' hope so. You would hope there'd be some accountability for this. But I always roll back to Jan 6 because all of those assholes were pardoned, dude. There is no law and order in this country anymore.
No. So we have homicide in Minneapolis and Texas. We know some of these people on the boats off the coast of Venezuela were just fishermen. The long list just continues of the body count stacking up with Trump. And yeah, like you said, the party of Back the Blue, the party of No New Wars, the God-loving party. I think murder is on that top 10 list, right? Of things we're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yet no one is calling them out. And elected officials could be.
Pete Jamieson says, all this is so Trump can use the Insurrection Act and possibly martial law. You're 100% right, dude. We've been talking about that too. With the midterms coming up, Steve sat down with Lev Parnas and he basically said, that was in the playbook first time around. So that's what he's trying to get done.
Lev was on the roundtable on CNN last night, and that was good to see him there. And yes, the Insurrection Act. What is going on in Minneapolis right now is crazy. The number of videos that I have done stories on this week are just outrageous.
Yeah.
And there are now officially more DHS ICE troops there than there are local law enforcement. They have something like 3,000 of them there. Local officials begging them to take it down a notch, but they're taking it up a notch. And
yeah.
The assaults, the arrests. I had one great video where they got thrown out of a Mexican restaurant, but then there was another one that came on in the last 24 hours. A Mexican restaurant was nice enough to actually serve these ICE agents. They then arrested the staff that served them. They ate the meal and then arrested the people that fucking just served them a meal.
Well, hopefully they pissed and pooped in the beans, dude, I have no idea why they would let him in there. I'm done being nice, dude. I'm done being like, oh, maybe you're not one of them. If you are on the side of even the Republican Party right now, dude. And in fact, even if you're a Dem and you're complacent and not standing up, bitching and crying and yelling about this, I'm done with you.
Yeah. The one video of them getting thrown out of the restaurant, the ICE agent is pleading with the manager, and he actually says, "Come on, have a heart."
Good Lord.
You're an ICE agent and telling somebody else to have a heart and let you eat a meal while you're a heartless asshat running around violating the Constitution, killing people, hurting people, arresting people based on their accent, their skin color. One of the other videos this week I covered, they busted down the front door of a home with the wrong kind of warrant. They lied and tricked their way in. They had an arrest warrant signed by a DHS official, which means if they find you on the street, they can detain and arrest you. But no, they didn't have a judicial warrant, but they lied and said they did.
It's a great thing to talk about. I'm glad you brought it up, Steve, because that is true. They are walking around with warrants signed by ICE, by DHS, and they can detain you on the street, like you just said, but it has to be signed by a judge for you to enter their home, and they're trying to get around it by saying, like, look, here's our warrant, and yeah, we need to be smarter about what's going on. Who would have thought we had to know all this shit, dude?
Yeah. And by the way, they didn't even show them the wrong warrants until after they had busted down the door and taken the husband out and all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
And yeah.
Well, we're talking about people being murdered, and, obviously that's a travesty. But, with all these protests that are going on, if you're protesting in this country, the Trump administration and ICE is not so nice to you. I mean, if you're in the Middle East, you could protest and maybe Trump would come in and start a war over it. Right. But if you're here protesting, things don't look good for you. Did you know about a boy named Caden Rumler, a 21-year-old college student and activist?
No.
Let me give you a little bit of Caden's story here. Okay, here you go.
Caden Rumler, a 21-year-old anti-ICE protester, says federal officers struck him in the face with a non-lethal weapon, resulting in him being blinded in one eye.
Yeah. Searching with my good eye closed is Caden's new theme song. That's not funny, but let me tell you, or let Caden tell you what went down.
Will you tell us about your injuries now and the prognosis? Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be blind for life. They said my globe was ruptured. I had my lower lid was cut up, and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it. There's a lot to it. I don't remember all the things that they said. I have fractures in my skull that they can't fix, and I can't sneeze or cough because it's dangerous too. I remember also when I shot, there was pepper in it, and I had pepper down my throat. It made it hard to breathe for a long time. They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived, because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
We usually hear about shrapnel, when people are on the battlefield in, a war-torn country. This is America, ladies and gentlemen. Caden Rumler, 21 years old, around 8:30 p.m. Agents there, ICE agents, grabbed a protester from the crowd. Rumler rushed forward with a megaphone in hand, yelling, "Let him go," to intervene. Agents fired projectiles, possibly pepper balls or rubber rounds, maybe both, directly into his face from just mere feet away. Rumler dropped, blood pouring from his eye. Well, you see him right there. I mean, that kid will never see out of the eye again.
It's insane. And giving non-lethal options like that, it actually bizarrely emboldens a lot of these ICE guys. It's like the priest we saw in Chicago. They got shot in the face with a pepper ball.
Yes.
Like, they feel like we can just mace people, shoot rubber bullets, shoot these pepper balls, because technically we're not going to kill them. But you could, or you could permanently disfigure and, he's half blind now because he's a, quote, activist. I don't even know what that means anymore. I mean, are we activists? Is anyone who shows up to a protest an activist? And does that connotation mean that they, have it coming to them?
Pretty much. I mean, especially if you're like Caden and have your fingernails painted, they don't like that shit. You can't be a pussy.
Right.
Protesters, obviously, he's a peaceful protester, Caden, with just a megaphone. The family attorney came out and said, peaceful protesting with a megaphone shouldn't blind you. The family attorney called this near fatal, and said it's a miracle he survived. He was injured that bad. So
yeah. Well, I hope the supreme leader of Iran invades us because we're hurting protesters out there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, there's all kinds of shit happening. You brought up the fact that ICE agents are just going around based on the way your skin color looks or the way you talk. And some people have never seen that. Look at this video here where the ICE agent just outright says, yeah, that's why I came over to you, dude.
Yes, you are required to. Where are you safe? Look, sir, are you going to do this the easy way or are we going to take you in? You cannot take me in. Yes, I can. Private. Yes, I can. Do you have documentation? I do have my documentation. Can you present it to me, Why please? Are you asking me for my paperwork? Because of your accent. You have an accent too. Where were you born, sir? Where were you born at? Put your hands behind your back.
That. What happened to Raz? Reasonable, articulable, suspicion of a crime being committed before they can ask you for any type of identification. What crime do you think he committed based on his accent? And by the way, I hope somebody asks Barron Trump where his documents are, because that kid growing up around Melania has an accent. I just read a story the other day. He's trying to get rid of it. You can grow up around other people with accents and be born and bred here in America, but you're still going to pick up the accent. Just like a regional accent you can pick up. That is not grounds to ask people who they are or prove they're Americans.
No, dude. I mean, that's what has always made one of the things that has made America great is look, you can't do that, dude. But this is a new America. And yes, they can do that. Whether it's legal or not doesn't stop them. Nobody gives a shit.
Well, and you can't sue the federal government for a lot of this stuff. Kitty cat, the guy should be able to hold the government accountable for what they did to him. They should, but no, I don't think you can. There may be civil action you can take against the specific, officers or whatnot, but I mean, it's crazy. So,
let me see here, Steve. What if I were to tell you that I don't know? I don't want this story to come off like I think any of this stuff that ICE is doing is acceptable. But what if I were to tell you that ICE went after a certain group that you would think, God, they'd never go after them?
These are 5 Oglala Sioux tribal council members. And there was 4 tribal members who were picked up by ICE in a community called Little Earth right here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And one of them has been released, but they couldn't locate the other 3. So the council members here, they're all elected officials of the Oglala Sioux tribe. And they gained access to the facility and they couldn't find their 3 tribal members. They claim that they're not classifying them by their nationality, which tribal members are also citizens of the United States. Since 1924, there's nobody more American than American Indians. But they were unable to find them here today. And so they're going to continue on. They got some contact information. They love the fact that you're here, that everybody's here. How could you possibly target Native Americans and with immigration and customs enforcement officers and then imprison us? That is impossible.
It's a solid question, and it's right. It should be impossible. The Native American community is one that we have pushed to the wayside for a long time, dude. Exactly. I mean, but this shocked me. I was like, where do you get off? Where do you think at least 5 natives have been detained? Obviously, Governor Peggy Flanagan is calling this disgraceful racial profiling. You think?
It's insane. I mean, I almost find the irony humorous. If I was a Native American detained by ICE and they're threatening to deport me, can I choose Hawaii or, San Diego or something?
Yeah.
I am the original American, so where are you deporting me to?
Yeah, maybe if you're sending me back to my country, then I'm just getting off the reservation and I can go anywhere in America now, or
Absolutely freaking insane. And by the way, I just got a breaking news alert from the New York Times. Video analysis of ICE shooting sheds lights on contested moments. They did the exact same thing that Dean did. Like they have synchronized the videos to all of the audio and everything, and they're showing the exact same thing that you just played in there. So kudos to Dean for being ahead of the curve and for you finding that, getting it out there. Because I mean, the more and more that comes out between syncing the video like that to see that when that exact first shot came off, and now the fact that we know that Renee still had a pulse sitting in that car, like there has got to be accountability for this, and it's certainly not going to come from the feds. So I just hope that Tim Walz and company there in Minnesota are going to do their own thing, make their own indictments and prosecutions, and state charges. Because Trump can give him immunity, he can pardon him for the federal crime, but there is no statute of limitations on murder.
Right.
And by the way, for most crimes, it's 7 years, ice holes. So you got Trump, best case scenario, for 3 more years. But,
pre-pardon, dude. Pre-pardon. All ICE agents pre-pardon.
Yeah, but still, that's federal. So state crimes can still come and get you, and I'm certainly hoping it will.
Yeah.
And we did also learn today this the guy's name you don't want me to say. Like apparently he's got a long history of doing immigration crap on a shady side. Like this is his little pet project, is being abusive to immigrants. So
yeah. And it's funny too. He's married to an immigrant. Did you see that? That he's married to a Filipino woman. Yeah. And I just don't understand, dude. I don't understand. Like, how could you be married to that guy as an immigrant? But I say the same thing about Melania. Like, how? I mean, she was not an underprivileged immigrant that came here for struggle or anything like that. But yeah, he's married to a Filipino woman, dude. And I just think, God, why wouldn't you stand up and say, you know what, you're an asshole, dude, and I don't love you.
I mean, like JD Vance is married to a Hindu woman, Indian. Like, I mean,
talk about selling your soul, dude.
Yes. And by the way, apparently Usha Vance has not been seen in weeks. Like these whole divorce rumors just will not go away.
She's looking for a wedding ring, dude. She's fine. She's just out trying to find it.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought it was so weird when we saw ICE agents, especially in the Renee Good shooting, where he pulled out his cell phone. I remember when we first watched the video, you were like, is he filming with his cell phone?
Yeah, because he was so worried for his life, and it was such a volatile situation. He's walking around like a tourist at Disneyland with his cell phone out.
Yeah, I thought, that is weird. Well, this report came out today, and this will let you know why we're starting to see all these ICE agents film with their personal cell phones, dude.
They are filming everything. According to a story from the Washington Post this week, the reason why the ICE agent that is accused of murdering Renee Nicole Good had a cell phone out was because they are under intense pressure from the Trump administration to be filming as much as they can. So all over the city this week, they have been raiding different businesses and different people's homes, and they've got cameras out. They've got cameras out here. There's also the assumption for most of the protesters here that all of our faces are being uploaded to some sort of database, likely run by Palantir.
The protesters have been chanting about Palantir. This is a very generally offline protest movement, and I find it very interesting that they seem highly aware of Palantir as an entity, even though they are, I get news from my friend, I get news from TV, not like I'm a Hassan head.
The Palantir thing, that's the facial recognition AI program, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's all that software. So yeah, they think that they're also recording because our faces are being uploaded, and it's like the CODIS, I think is what it's called. That's for law enforcement. We're like, he's in CODIS, we can find him. Now they're going to be able to find us wherever they want.
But why wouldn't they all just be wearing body cams then? Is that because there'd be accountability? We could get a FOIA request and get that.
Yes, we can't request this video, dude.
Well, but you can actually. That's the problem. As I mentioned before, one of my hobbies, I watch police body cam videos. I find them hilarious. I watch Karens like getting pulled out of their cars. And
Yeah.
like, I know my rights, and I know, and they get thrown. Like, I find them funny. But there's, qualified immunity. All law enforcement officers have it, so you can't sue them for doing things within the normal confines of their job. If they break the law, you can sue them. But I've seen multiple cases where cops film something with their cell phone and then now you're using your phone in your job. I can get a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request, and I can take the information off your cell phone. I've seen it happen.
Wow.
So I'm not. Yeah, again, that implies though that they're going to follow the rules of Freedom of Information Request Acts, and they're not going to, claim it's confidential, top secret, classified, because they would. But yeah, that's disturbing as shit. And also new today, or at least in the last 24 hours, Tom Homan, the border czar, he went on Laura Ingram's show on the Fox News propaganda network there, and he said that they have this new little plan. That he says we're going to create a database of ICE protesters and make them famous. We're going to put them on the news. We're going to make sure their employers know, make sure everyone in the neighborhood knows. We are going to make these ICE protesters famous.
Yes.
Which I find two funny things about that.
Okay, give me the first.
Well, first, ICE is always claiming doxing. Everyone's trying to dox us. So now, good enough for me, but not thee. Now ICE is going to start doxing the protesters. First of all, that's just going to be a reciprocal kind of thing, So you don't want to be doxed yourself, but your new plan is to dox the protesters. Okay, great. Problem with that exact mentality is, we saw the video this week of Trump in Detroit, giving the middle finger to the guy at the auto worker plant there outside of Detroit when he called Trump a pedophile protector. And Trump said, fuck you, and gave him the middle finger.
Clear as day to BT Dubs. I mean,
yes. So ever since that happened and that guy got suspended, not fired, union says they're going to stand up for his rights to say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But two sympathizers of this guy started a GoFundMe. He has now made over $800,000. The man himself said, "Stop the GoFundMe." That is that I appreciate. That I would feel guilty if you actually gave me any more. So this guy, yes, a freaking American hero that told Trump to his face, pedophile protector, and he was made famous, just like Homan saying he's going to do, and he just got $800,000. So don't threaten me with a good time. Make me famous. And get
when that first happened, I was talking to Rachel about it. I was like, yes, an American hero. I said, can you imagine, dude? Not only are you at work, but Trump is there, Secret Service everywhere. You realize that there's no law anymore. They can do all kinds of illegal shit. I mean, that took a lot of nuts. I would like to think I would have done that. I can't say that for a fact.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is a good question. What would you actually do, especially being on the job and all that kind of stuff? But yeah, $800K he got for making a stand and becoming famous. If that incident hadn't been recorded, if Trump had just gone to him and said, that guy, get him suspended, get him fired, no one would know about it. This guy would be suspended and maybe fired. But no, so go ahead, Homan, make all the ICE protesters famous. You just watch how much money is going to flood in all of the directions. And it's encouraging them, by the way, to raise the bar. Pedophile protector got you $800,000. What happens if you hit him with a tomato? What happens if you Jesus,
yeah. We've seen what happens when you hit them with the Subway sandwich, dude. So,
you don't get prosecuted is what happens. So,
yeah, that's right. No, that's hysterical, dude. I love that guy calling him a pedophile protector. It's the perfect thing to call him. And yeah, people are wondering, well, what happened to those Epstein files, dude?
Yes, and Trump was a little sensitive about being called that. Why so sensitive? Someone called me a pedophile protector, I'd be like, that's funny. Why would that makes no sense?
Yeah.
Oh, it does make sense when you call Trump that, though.
After we see Trump not only say fuck you, and then give him the old person bird,
get off my lawn.
Yeah, which is so funny. We see Caroline Levitt come and make a funny comment, dude, that I thought, oh man, the hypocrisy once again, my friends.
What?
Look at this vehicle. Look at what it says. It says F ICE. You have these individuals who are putting their middle finger, proudly so, at the camera.
Who would do that?
Who would do that? Who would act that way, dude? Isn't that funny?
Oh, and they have no self-awareness of any of that stuff, by the way. It's so
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
And speaking of Caroline Levitt, I brought this up on the show, well, multiple times, but last week specifically. And then it happened again. So Trump again this week joked about canceling the midterm elections. It's top of his mind for some odd reason. We originally talked about it when he did it in front of a bunch of GOPers at their own little speech thing. But now he did it in an interview with Reuters, like an actual news organization. And Caroline Levitt came out and got all indignant yesterday and said that he was speaking facetiously. It is a joke. How dare you even assume he was not joking?
Yeah.
Now, I got a couple problems with that. Now, first of all, what was the joke? A joke is a setup and a punchline.
Yes.
A premise and a punchline. Oh, I get it. What's not a joke? To just say, I don't know why we always lose the midterms. Like, we should just cancel them. No setup, no punchline. No. It's not a joke. Okay.
I got a 16-year-old nephew, and I love the kid dearly. But whenever he does something stupid, he says, "It's a prank. It's a prank." And I'm like, no, it wasn't a prank, dude. You just did that. It's the same behavior.
Yes. Allow me to demonstrate. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
That's it.
That's the joke?
It's a joke.
You're just joking, dude. Come on. You're just joking around.
I did the setup and no punchline. So
Right.
apparently that qualifies as a joke. I also find it insane that a president would quote unquote joke about ending democracy.
Yeah.
Like, so even if you want to say it's a joke, which it's not, like, why is that funny? And why would that not be insanely inappropriate?
It's a great question.
Imagine if Obama did it. Imagine if Biden did it, and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy. And again, he is not joking. He is bringing this up for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he wants to do it. So, I saw that with Caroline Levitt. It's a joke. You guys can't even take a joke. Well, let me tell you this, okay? Caroline didn't like that people were putting their middle finger up. Here's another story. Remember the bakery that wouldn't bake the cake for the gay couple?
Colorado.
In Colorado. I tell you what, dude, things go down at the bakery. I love the bakery, dude. I go nuts for donuts, and I love all the power that comes out of the bakery aside from baked goods.
An East Longmeadow baker facing death threats after posting controversial cookies on social media.
This morning, the community showed up in a big way again.
And Chris, before dawn this morning, a line started forming outside of the Sweet Boutique. By the time they opened, customers were wrapped around the block and they sold out of cookies in just 16 minutes. This is a story that sparked a debate about free speech and small business right here in Western Mass. Now, it all started when owner Nikki Moran posted cookies with a 4-letter word followed by 3 letters, ICE, on social media. Sunday. Now the post went viral. Moran tells Western Mass News she made them to express her frustration about immigration raids and deportations happening across the country.
We just saw the protests going on and we were like, well, you know what? This is how we feel about it. I'm just going to put on a cookie. It's my small business. That's the great thing about owning a business is everybody says don't put politics into it, but like owning a business, politics is in my small business. It is what it is. And I've always been pretty vocal about how I feel about things.
That's what we say. Get vocal, for crying out loud, dude.
Did she actually make fuck ice cookies? Is that what those were?
And there was a line around the building at 5 a.m., dude.
I love it.
Yes.
Talk about a frosty reception for ice. That is great.
Just
and I just
fantastic.
love that fuck ice has become just so ubiquitous across the country.
Right.
My mom just said it to me. My 16-year-old son says he sees it all over his social media feed. Like, fuck ice. And she made cookies. That is great.
Yeah, I love it. Steve, what goes good with cookies?
Milk.
Yeah, I think my favorite kind of milk is whole milk. Okay.
It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that.
What does that mean?
Just, you have to think about it. I'm sure he wrote it down, HOLE, milk, and someone was like, Mr. President, that's WHOLE.
Or is that some sort of sexual joke?
I don't know. Most of the media will get it. I don't know, dude. He's losing his fucking mind.
Well, hold on though. Like I'm not up on every slang term there is out there, but he had that look on his face like he was making a double entendre. Is he saying like man milk, like whole milk, the white residue I leave on a hole? Is that what he's trying to say?
Boy, dude, I don't know. Trump giving a spelling lesson. The title of this was Trump gives a spelling lesson on how to spell whole milk.
And by the way, this person's right. Trump was absolutely eyeballing those little girls standing next to him during that presentation. There was,
gross.
Yes, 12, 13-year-old looking girls.
Touching them on their back and on their shoulders. Like, it was foul, dude.
And again, like with the Epstein thing hanging over your head out there, who thought like, hey, put the 12-year-old girl next to Trump while he's making weird milk comments?
Yes. Yes, it is such a bad idea, dude. I don't know, dude. That was so weird. And I immediately thought, like, I know that he takes cognitive tests like every week, apparently, but it's time for another one. Did you see this footage of Donald Trump proudly telling this
You
joke?
ever notice Joe would always cough before a speech? State of the Union, he gets, ah, 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 ah. He was high as a kite. He was floating. He was up there way up. That was a bad speech. But, hey, he got through it, He got through it. If you call it getting through, I don't
What is happening, dude? What is happening with his mind?
I was going to say, I mean, it's Dementia Donnie. He deserves the nickname.
Sundowning, dude.
Does he deserve a Peace Prize? What are your thoughts on him being gifted the Nobel Peace Prize? I'll tell you, I was once in a thrift store and they had like some old bowling trophy from the 1950s. If I bought that, would I be a 1950s bowling champion?
No, you wouldn't, dude. I told you.
No, I have the trophy though.
You don't get it, dude. I made a trophy for myself, #1 breakdancer. My wife always gives me shit. That was in 2nd grade. I thought that was a good idea. And no, I wasn't #1 breakdancer. You're not peaceful. FIFA gave you a fake Peace Prize.
At least they gave it to him, though.
Yes, but then now Machado said, oh, yeah, I want to give you this. Like, that is such shit, dude. I mean, she obviously wants something for it.
Well, so that's my question. Do we admonish her for what the fuck? Like, why would you encourage this monster by giving him your Nobel Peace Prize? Like, what sort of suck-ass move is that? Or the other side is, as everyone knows, all you got to do is manipulate Trump by giving him shiny objects and he'll do whatever you want. Yeah. So is she being smart? Like she did win the election. She should be the president of Venezuela, especially now that Trump kidnapped the first one. Like she should be put in place. Yeah. So is she doing something noble with her Nobel Peace Prize to try to become the rightful ruler of her people? Or is she just some sycophantic kiss ass that all of us should now tell to go fuck off?
When she first won that Peace Prize, I didn't know a ton about her, and we got flooded with comments in chat on the show that she's a piece of shit. Yeah,
a lot of people don't like her.
I don't know. I mean, she did it for personal gain. Whether it works out or not, I don't know. But yeah, just feeding his ego with peace after all we've been hearing, for the last 8 weeks is that he solved 8 1/4 wars, and he won't shut up about it. He's not a peaceful president. He's invading countries, sovereign nations. He's murdering people in fishing boats and on the streets of America.
I was going to say, and here he's invading America. Yeah. And I love that quarter thing he tried to say. Like one of the wars I stopped kind of broke out again, and then I stopped it. So I still get credit for the first stop. Now I get a quarter for stopping it the second time.
An asshole, dude.
What in the holy fucking hell are you talking about? And by the way, the people behind the Nobel Peace Prize came out today and emphatically said, like, you can't transfer the thing. You can't return it. Like, it doesn't count if somebody just gives it to you.
It's non-transferable, dude. That is so fucking funny.
It is completely unheard of, one said. This is incredibly embarrassing, another said. Disrespectful, pathetic, undermines the value of the prize.
Yeah, you think? Right. I mean, what a joke it has become.
Oh, right.
Speaking of another great joke, Steve, this was set up by a troll, and when I first saw it, I thought, "Oh, they're trolling me. It's gonna lead to porn or something else." But this will prove that it's real and funny.
I saw something online that said, if you type in Nazis.us into your web browser, it takes you to the Department of Homeland Security's webpage, and I obviously didn't believe it.
I didn't want to do it, dude.
Right.
So I tried it.
In incognito mode.
It sure as shit does.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So typing in Nazis.us takes you directly to the Homeland Security webpage.
Fantastic. That's a
you know
joke.
who did it?
Who?
Guy named Mark Davis. He's running for Congress out of Florida. And he bought the Nazi.us domain name. And as you can do with any website, you can set up a redirect. And he is claiming that you can't stop the redirect. And Kristi Noem, just in the last couple of hours, came out and said that they did put a stop to it. And much like you, I don't actually want to test it. I don't need that on my search history. I don't need to be on some watch list. I actually did this story for Really American today, amongst some other ones, but that was the main story. And even the files I sent into Really American, I did not want to put like Nazi story or anything like
we
that.
know we're being watched right now, Steve. So
Right.
yeah, like this is not a good time to be typing that into your computer.
Oh, spot on. So Mark Davis running for Congress in Florida's 16th district. So vote for him if you're down there, or send that guy some money. And he said that he was simply holding up a mirror to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Bravo.
He says that she will hate the reflection.
Yes.
Not just her fake Mar-a-Lago face, but she'll hate the reflection of being called a Nazi. So,
Speaking of Mar-a-Lago, I know you did this story on Really American, and forgive me as a friend, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to play this video, and I'm hoping you'll be able to explain this to me because, Stephen
Nick are
already
on the list.
Yeah. We know. We know. But tell me what the fuck this is, dude.
Well, those sounds are not real.
Yeah, those sounds are obviously contrasting that shit that's going on at Mar-a-Lago and the shit that's going on in the streets of Minneapolis and other communities, you know.
Yeah. So I saw that story yesterday, or just some of the viral images going around, and I immediately was like, I'm doing this story because holy crap, that was an actual party that happened in Mar-a-Lago just about a week ago. And it was technically the Humane Society that rented out Mar-a-Lago and did this thing, which, I mean, first of all, my video, it's over 100,000 views. The comments on it are hilarious because everyone feels the same thing. Creepy, dystopian, Eyes Wide Shut, The Shining, cult-like, just what in the hell kind of the Purge will be called on any day now.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, first of all, the Humane Society, this is how we're spending our money, huh? Like renting out Mar-a-Lago.
That's my first thought, dude. Like all the money I've donated to the Humane Society, this is where you're spending it?
Yes. And the White House, when those images first started to go around and everyone said what I was just, quoting there, they're like, hold on, Mar-a-Lago's a private club. Anyone's allowed to just rent it out. Okay. Well, then why did the president show up at the event? Why did the president speak at the event? It's not like, they just rented some ballroom and we see no evil. He was there. All sorts of Trump people were there. He spoke at the event. And he had that great Gatsby, costume party back in October. Like, this is not unusual for the Mar-a-Lago crowd. I also find it funny that the Humane Society thought, like, well, if we're going to rent Mar-a-Lago, we need some weird, Maria Antoinette era decadence, and it's got to be a little creepy and weird. That will fit in perfectly there.
Right.
So, check out my full video because I've got even more clips than that on there, and it is just hilarious and disturbing. And furries, That's certainly what it looks like, that they're having a big old furry convention there.
Yeah.
And I included on mine a great clip. It's from several years ago, but there was an incident. I think it was Chicago. There was a furry convention going on, and there was like a CO2 leak, so they all had to be evacuated. Morning Joe back then covered the story, and Mika's reading it. She's like, a furry convention? What's a furry convention? And someone whispers in her ear, and they cut back to Joe and Mika, and they were both just heads in their just dying with laughter. Mika runs off the set, and because yes, of course, it is absolutely embarrassing. And
yeah,
what the hell that was. And now a lot of people are saying, I'm boycotting the Humane Society. Like, not only are you wasting money, but you do it at Mar-a-Lago, and then you do this creepy eyes wide shut crap.
Yes, dude, that's weird. You could have had that event at the Crystal Ballroom at the Hyatt, or Motel 6. Who knows? But
and a lot of people commented, I hope Kristi Noem didn't show up. It would have been a bloodbath there.
Yeah.
Shoot that dog. Shoot that dog. Shoot that dog.
And Trump, I mean, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the pets.
They're dancing with the dogs. They're dancing with the cats.
I know we got to wrap it up here soon, but dude, I found this great woman that I want to highlight. I told you on the podcast on Tuesday, there is a new movement of women stepping up, refusing to remain silent with everything that's going on here. And I thought, oh, this is a great one of those videos that this lady is taking part in. So have a listen, take a look, and enjoy.
Good afternoon. Fuck Donald Trump. Today I was at the range, and it'll do your heart good to know there was a lot of women there. I was there not with but with the little one that I carry with me all the time, and I'm going to show you up here a little picture of what I was aiming at today. You motherfucking MAGA fucks, you might think that we're out here just sitting around wondering what's going to happen. I am wondering about shit. I know what's going to happen. Fuck you. Psycho killer.
Better run.
Run away.
Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, people are standing up. Women especially are standing up for this movement. That's like, yeah, you guys don't know what's coming, dude. We're not the meek little wallflowers you think we are.
That's
and I applaud it. Yeah.
Second Amendment rights for all. So there you go.
That's right.
Don't screw with some of these women.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, dude. Hey, thanks, chat, for hanging with the podcast today and for all the conversations, questions, comments. If you want to write a comment to the show, you could do that. We have a website, thevocalminority.net, and you can make you can send us an email there is basically what you can do.
Yeah, and a lot of you have been using that. So, yeah, go to thevocalminority.net. We heard from some longtime fans in Minnesota that are minorities, and they were just describing they're living in fear. They don't even want to leave their house right now, and that's terrible. And we heard from a woman in Alaska that's talking about the fact that they may be able to flip their Senate seat up there this fall. And so, yeah, whatever it is you guys want to comment on, we appreciate it. So you can go to thevocalminority.net. And then, as always, right here in the old comments section. So we appreciate all the love. Look at all these guys. Thanks for your time, Nick and Steve. Thanks for the show. Good stuff.
We appreciate you guys hanging with us. So working on some big stuff as the podcast carries forward. We're trying to get it so you guys can actually come on and talk with us on the show, and hopefully that will be coming soon. So have a nice weekend. Get out, touch some grass, and love each other. And we'll be back on Tuesday for your midweek political check-in.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.
And we
Good
say
day.
bye-bye.
Fuck Trump and fuck ICE.
Yes.